Earlier I posted a video analyzing the collapse of World Trade Center Building 7, which is this building right here, using Physics Toolkit. This is a remake using a much higher quality version of the video. What this software allows us to do is take a video, and as we step through it, we can put a marker on some point and follow it through the video. Okay. These markers then are cataloged in the data table and can be used to create graphs and do analysis. Now, in order to make this significant, you have to convert from the pixel locations to actual real-world distances. And so you need to calibrate this somehow. Now, the easiest way to calibrate this based on published data is to use the width of the World Trade Center Building 7 itself. And this turns out to be just about exactly 100 meters. Actually, the FEMA report calls it 329 feet. And if you convert 329 feet to meters, it's 100.27 meters. So whether the 329 is a rounded off number or the 100 meters is a rounded off number is a little bit hard to tell. Turns out it's not very significant. What's a little bit more significant is the left edge of this building is in the smoke, and so we have to estimate the position. You can see vaguely where it is. And so what we're going to do is do this a couple of times with different guesses, an overestimate and an underestimate, to see the effect of that on the results. Because we want to try and get realistic results for the acceleration of this corner of the building as it comes down. Okay. Now I've already placed the dots because that requires care. And so I've used a magnifying glass and I've used a consistent criterion. So like for instance, look at the cursor, and when the cursor is on a dark background it looks sort of white, and on a light background it looks sort of dark. And so I went down until the first place where it turned white, and I used that each time for the location of the pixel. So I tried to be right on that corner in a consistent manner. Okay, let's go through and estimate the distance across this building. So if I just let it turn white there, what I need to do is click the scale, and then this will allow me to place the calibration mark. So if I go from there and I come across to, I'm going to go a little bit long this time, and let's let it come out to about here. So that's sort of beyond, well, that's actually pretty much dead on, I think. I'm using right in here I'll go with what looks like it's an extra pixel or two, I think. Okay, now we type in the distance, and I'm going to put 100 meters. In fact, if I'll put in 100.27, I'm going to take FEMA's data literally. Okay. All right. So now if I step through it, notice this calibration factor here, the scale factor is 1.55 this time. So I'm going to hit next, and next, and I'm going to say it's in the Y direction, which is vertical. And I'm going to measure position and velocity. Now I can get a data table if I want to do this numerically right here. But mainly what I want to do is look at the graph of velocity versus time. And let's see what the slope is. If I left click on the first data point and right click on the last data point, it gives us a slope, minus 10.223. And the slope of a velocity versus time graph gives you acceleration. Now, notice that there's a plus or minus over here, plus or minus about 0.6. And so minus 10 is actually faster than Freefall. Freefall is minus 9.8. This is actually, looks a little faster than Freefall. It's right about at Freefall, really. 0.6, the margin of error would overlap 9.8. So in other words, the minus sign indicates it's coming down. 9.8 indicates it's falling at the acceleration of gravity. Freefall with zero resistance. And so what we have here, this is almost the first 3 seconds of the collapse. And the line that's been put through here is what they call the best fit straight line. So it calculates what's the best line to go through all these data points here. The reason there's a little jumpiness is because you can only measure to the nearest pixel. And if you notice on the, let's come back here, notice the artifacts in terms of the picture itself, there's a little bit of a dark margin around this, okay? However, if I'm looking consistently at the same point within that pattern, it should indicate the downward acceleration correctly. So what we're seeing is literally free fall. Now let's see what that the effect of calibration has on that. Let's go a little bit shorter, because last time I tried to get a little bit overestimated there. So let's come down here and hit scale again. And I'm going to come in here to the first, right there. And let's go a little bit more conservatively. All right, so I'm pretty much right on what looks like looking right in here. Let's go pretty much right on what looks like the edge of the building and the smoke. I'll come in a little bit even less. How about that? And again, put 100.27. All right. Notice this time the scale factor is 1.529. Let's hit next and next and next. Okay, let's do the acceleration again. 10.39. So it's even faster. So in other words, if I go anything less than, let's come back here, if I go anything as a short estimate, it's actually going to push the acceleration higher. Okay, so if I take this first point right there, and then let's come out a little bit, okay, and right here I'm at where the X reading down there says 121.6. That's way out. Let's come back in here. So that's a little bit out. 124, all right. I was looking right here where it says 124. 100.27. Still right in the -10 ballpark. So calibration, even though there's fog here, there's smoke, is not accounting for the discrepancy. Let's try it again, and let's be really way out. I'm going to go from right here, and I'm going to come out so there's no question I'm beyond the edge of the building at that point. All right. Look at that, -10.0. Okay. All of these, because of the jitter in the data, the error bars about 0.5, 0.6, and so all of these actually are consistent with the hypothesis that it is falling at free fall. It's inconsistent with the hypothesis that it's falling significantly slower than free fall. What does this mean? It means that all of the vertical columns throughout the building, and there was a bunch of them, I don't have the number in front of me, but these are massive columns, and for all of these columns to give way, and to give way simultaneously, and to give way in such a manner that it's falling, the fall is indistinguishable from free fall, indicates that all of those offered zero resistance, or very, very close to zero resistance, and that situation was triggered simultaneously across the whole building. Notice how level, as I step down, notice how level the top of the building is the whole time. In other words, the entire superstructure of the building inside, I'm not sure if superstructure is the entire interior structure of the building was apparently demolished.